Good morning. You're welcome to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu Media Communication. Today is 6th February. 6th February 2026 to be precise. And of course, 2 days time, less than 48 hours, Cano will be going for his application. And I think there's a news I would have given you earlier. Cano has filed for his application for appearance to appear in the court comes 80th February 2026, and that application has been granted because I know what my namesake in Italy did. Ralph Ajari, he made it clear that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the one that filed appeal right now, according to his lawyer Jumako, that Cano has successfully filed the appeal to defend himself. He filed the appeal and successfully it has been granted. Cano is the one that is going to defend himself. This time around, he successfully made an appeal to represent himself, defend himself during the appeal court hearing. It means that Cano has actually perfected his release, because each and every time in the past Cano went to the court representing himself, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, he always, made it. He was always victorious. Anytime he represents himself in the court, he actually outsmarted the OMOTOSHO led judgment, outsmarted Binta and Yako led judgment. Was it not just last year before November when Cano represented himself? It was obvious that Cano was better in debate and argument than the federal government led legal team. Cano actually outsmarted them. More competent in law, in definition of law, defending himself even better than his personal lawyers. Cano has proven it on and on that he himself last year throughout was better than Nigerian defense team. Legal defense team, they always bow before him. Even the presiding chief justices, they always bowed before him in the past. That's why Cano Nnamdi has decided to defend himself by himself. The appeal he actually wrote for or applied for has been granted. So Cano is going to represent himself this time. Next time he appears at Abuja High Court. But what is hampering his appearance right now or commencement of that judgment was that federal government refused to transfer him from Sokoto prison to Abuja Kuje prison. That was what James OMOTOSHO led latest appearance, achieved or gained in favor of federal government of Nigeria. At this juncture, the whole world has now believed that Tinubu government is the one hunting Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They don't want him to be coming to court from Abuja. Abuja is how many kilometers away from Sokoto? Someone that was jailed in Abuja was, taken to Sokoto Correctional Prison for what? And it was a choice not generally made by the court. It was a sole decision of the so-called ignorant of law-driven Chief Justice James OMOTOSHO. Ignorance of law-driven James OMOTOSHO was the one that ordered Cano's exportation into Sokoto Correctional Prison. So, what are we saying? It is obvious that Tinubu government doesn't want Cano out. But much international pressure is on. Warren and the troubling ASO-ROCK. Tinubu has been over time questioned by international community over the illegitimacy behind Cano's detention. Cano is illegally detained since 2021. That is why there was much pressure for Cano to go for appeal court, and the whole world is interested, to the level that United Nations member nations are even aware that James OMOTOSHO judgment, imprisonment of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu for life is not legal. The charges, reasons he was brought in, the court itself, none of these reasons are valid. They are all invalid court, invalid charges. No law has actually been contravened by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Yet the administration of Affairmed throws him into prison for life. So it's obvious that it's a drama. In the past, it was a drama, well orchestrated, written script by federal government of Nigeria for judiciary, organ of government, the executive and the judiciary that review our constitutions in conjunction with the all the other federal structures, jailed Mazi Nnamdi Kanu illegally, without finding guilty of any offense for life. Federal government of Nigeria jailed Mazi Nnamdi Kanu without finding any fault, without contravening any law in Nigeria for life, meaning that Cano is a prisoner of conscience, a prisoner of anti-Igboism, anti-Igbo movement, anti-Igbo ideology, anti-Igbo agreement by the Nigerian state. So, why are Biafrans rejoicing? What is making me happy is that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is defending himself. The appeal he filed, nobody has had ever knowledge of this appeal, but the insiders actually know that Cano has been granted the permission to defend himself. Comes next time, anytime he goes to court. And why Biafrans are very happy is that each and every time Cano defended himself in the past, he actually did well, better, far better than all his defensive team led by Aloy Ejimako. Aloy Ejimako himself made it clear during press release that next time Cano goes to court, he will be the one to speak for himself. Very interesting. The whole world will actually watch in a very great, let me say, rapt attention, when Cano would be defending himself next time he goes to court. So what are we saying here? Federal government of Nigeria under the watch of Tinubu is just detaining an innocent man, for nothing, no just cause, because he did not violate Nigerian constitution, he did not violate Kenya constitution, he has not violated any United Nations charter, but Nigeria did. Nigeria is the one that turned her back on United Nations international charter, international law, and illegally abducted Mazi Nnamdi Kanu from Nairobi, Kenya. So who is an errant person here? Who is a criminal here in this, legal field? If you examine it locally and internationally, Nigeria is the greatest offender in this case. Any case issue with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Nigeria is the criminal. Nigeria is the one that is guilty. Nigeria is the one that is double standard. Nigeria is the one that is corrupt here. Nigeria is the one that is criminal here, that is supposed to be nailed in the court of law, maybe international criminal court or within the Nigeria, local courts. Cano has actually outsmarted Nigeria many times, over time during Muhammad Buhari regime. But what did we see? We actually saw court contempt in action, court contempt here, thriving in Nigeria, a country that has refused to respect final rulings of the court, the ideology of law, which is a jurisprudence, When court gives order in Nigeria, Nigerian administration flouts the order, denies the court, its absolute freedom. Court in Nigeria is not operating on, based on the fact that it is the common faith or hope of Nigerian citizens. Rather, the court is dancing to the costume of the office of the presidency, which is finally organs of government called executive. So the court has been violated over time by Tinubu's administration, by Tinubu's office at ASO-ROCK. Even right now, nobody in Nigeria could go to court and prevail on federal government of Tinubu. It is a federal government of Tinubu. It's not federal government of all of us. It's not a nation anymore. Tinubu has actually kidnapped the real ideology of organ of government called the judiciary, which is the common faith, which is justice, which stands alone as the right, fundamental right of every citizen to speak from his heart, his or her heart, to actually stand firm to challenge any democratic government in place. The office of the executive, presided by Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is final. It's just like the Buckingham Palace of England, where the Queen, the current King Charles, has every say, every authority and prerogative, and even dynamism to nail any British citizen, anybody in England and outside England. They are under the divine control of Prince Charles, who is right now the King of England. So you don't decide for the king, for Bible says the life and death of every citizen under any kingdom is on the hands of the ruling king. So that's why the UK, the British, everything about United Kingdom is on the hands of King Charles. That is the kind of government we have in Nigeria. Autocracy is monarchy. Monarchy is autocratic because the king decides the fate of the kingdom, whether good, whether bad, whether black, brown, yellow, or red. It is the king that decides. That is what we have in Nigeria. We are not running a democracy. We are running a traditional democracy whereby if you go to ASO-ROCK, you will bend and bend, dobale, bow and tire, and get tired. You will bow tired, you will kneel down tired, because Tinubu has brought the tradition of his forefather into a corporate machinery, modern machinery called government. We are not running monarchy, but they are mixing Yoruba mixture and the culture with our dear democracy. If you don't dobale, kneel down at ASO-ROCK, you are on your own. That is very, very disastrous. You don't run government that way in a secular setup like Nigeria. Federalism is for everybody, defining that we must behave centrally. We have culture. Democratic culture in Nigeria should be central culture. Every man, everybody should adhere to. It shouldn't be personalized. It shouldn't be sectionalized. It shouldn't be clanized. You don't introduce your forefathers' ideology or custom and tradition into ASO-ROCK. ASO-ROCK is for every nation. Igbo nation, Ijo nation, Hausa nation, Urobo nation. So that's why we are not getting it right in this part of the world. So Cano is going to court to defend himself, and it is final of the finality, because if Cano sets his foot on the court, the whole world is going to watch film, movie, a legal film, legal drama that will shock the entire humanity is about to play out in Nigeria. A situation whereby the presiding justice, James OMOTOSHO, has proven it that he did not pass elementary 4. The way he handled Cano case, James OMOTOSHO has not passed elementary 4, let alone going to law school. It was indicated that Cano outsmarted him in the court with many questions, brute-tracing with unending points. Some people went to school, some people come to school. It is now that we realize that it is not everything that counts actually counted. James OMOTOSHO's judgment delivered on behalf of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu indicates that it is not everything counted that counts, and it is not everything that counts is actually counted. The way and manner he read his script written by the executive organ of government indicated that he did not pass elementary 2. Every position in this government are people favored, very closer to Bola Ahmed Tinubu, judging by what is trending across Nigerian political leadership recently. Amepota was Tinubu's chief defense. That's leader of Tinubu's, lawyer or legal team personally as a Cano. Yes, Tinubu lawyer, head of his defense team, is made, elected or appointed as an INEC chairman. Amepota is from Kogi. His name is Amepota. Amepota is a Yoruba Kogi that recently was appointed as INEC chairman. And it shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be. Tinubu is carrying along all his nephews, all his brothers, sisters, lawyers, people that are so close to him. It shouldn't be like that. Democracy is for the choice of every citizen of a particular country to count, to at least, be reflected. So we are not reflecting based on federalism. We are not reflecting based on democratic setup, which depends on majority. We are all in this administration watching and looking, tribalism of the highest order playing out. Without my nephew, your cousin, you are giving them position, your lawyer, imagine the head of your legal team is Nigeria INEC. That is not achievable. It is not supposed to be applied at all. It's not applicable. It shouldn't be applicable. Amepota has been rejected by the North that is not going to head INEC for them. That Tinubu is appointing the head of his legal team, which is not possible, to lead Nigeria comes next election of 2027. So it is unfortunate that Amepota has not been allowed to play that, to be that in that position. So this time, every canale, we are looking forward for another appointment of INEC chairman to take or oversee every election when comes next presidential election in Nigeria. Amepota is his name, but he has been rejected by the Hausas. Someone on a neutral ground should be appointed. Why not appoint an Hausa man? Why not appoint an Igbo man? Why not appoint Urobo man or Delta? They could deliver. They can do that job well for you. I think Hausa has actually decided, they have come to their senses that they were Mumuhua in the past. Doesn't want to be used again because it is late. So that's it today, and we are going to remind you that Cano's judgment appearance is going to appear in court the next 2 days, which is less than 24 hours because it's just something to 6. So that's it. Cano is going to court and is going to defend himself. That is the best thing ever to have happened to Biafra recently. Cano is very good on law. He knows law better than the presiding justices, fake justices that are presenting fake certificates by the way they carry themselves, treat cases in the court, indicated that none of them is well educated about law. Cano is better than all of them. He has proven it. That's why everybody is rejoicing that day Cano is going to actually find out where it is gazetted in Nigeria Constitution that he, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, should be sentenced for life. Which law? Where the law? Show me the law. I want to see the law. Thank you. 2 days time, let's say less than 48 hours, we are going to hear OMOTOSHO showing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu where the law is in Nigerian Constitution. If the law does not embed on Nigerian Constitution, I don't see the reason why OMOTOSHO should be reading scripts written for him by Bayo Ononuga-led cabals at ASO-ROCK office. Thank you so much for listening to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu Media Communication. Mr. Raf is my name. Thank you. Next time, my extreme viewers, we are going to discuss. Comment, share, like, hit the notification bell. Thank you so much for watching.